Welcome back. All right, so we're just gonna hop right on in. Our very first question. Okay, so just a little bit so everyone is caught up. We had questions left from last time. However, people also messaged me and texted me more questions. So we added those in and then we kind of prioritized the question. So just so everyone knows. So our first question is Black Lives Matter versus all lives matter.
Okay, well, I guess I'll start. Yeah, I'll just start it. So, Black Lives Matter versus All Lives Matter. Okay. When all of this first started, right, you were never going to catch like a Black person saying that our lives are better than this group of lives, white people's lives, Mexican people's lives, or anything like that. What we wanted when all of this came out, like not suggesting that we're better than anybody, instead pointing out that there is a sense of undervalue of African American Black lives, right? Like there's an undervalue there, and we're more likely to lose our undervalued life by a police officer. I don't know if you guys keep up with the news, but it's always, Black people getting killed by police officers, always streamed. It's always, you see it repetitively, weekly, at this point, weekly, and it's sad. But I think it is just bringing attention to this group of people that seem to be targeted and killed in certain situations versus other races and ethnicities, right? So it's really like bringing an awareness to what's happening to Black people, and it needs to stop. There needs to be some type of reprimand for these people that are getting off with killing Black people, and it's not fair. And I just also feel like if you need to rephrase and say, Black Lives Matter too, obviously that's letting you know, like, all lives matter in that case, all colors of people matter, but at this point right now, there's a particular, sub people, if you may say, that are being treated unfairly and being killed. And what I feel like, and I get confused sometimes, is that people that have a problem with Black Lives Matter, they're okay with Blue Lives Matter, and they're okay with All Lives Matter, but the only word that is different out of all three statements is the word Black. So do you have a problem with Black people are just saying Black Lives Matter when you're okay with Blue Lives Matter? You're okay with All Lives Matter? And like I said, no one ever was saying that we're better than anyone. That was never the case. We wanted to bring awareness to this group of people that are being killed by the masses, like all the time. Like right now, I could probably name off like 15, 20 people that have been killed by police officers, and we just had one yesterday. So it's just like, no one is saying that Black people are thinking that we're better than anybody, because clearly we're not feeling that way. We're feeling like we don't matter to anyone because it's so easy to kill us, and then everything's okay. You just get off, And so that's just my opinion with the Black Lives Matter and All Lives Matter. And like when I see people say that, I'm just like, gosh, you people are like really, there's something not clicking up there, because that just comes back to human like empathy, and I guess some people just don't have it. So that's my take on Black Lives Matter versus All Lives Matter.
I'm just gonna be quick. I just feel like we're not included in All Lives Matter, and that's just how I feel about that. I feel like when people say All Lives Matter after we've said Black Lives Matter, to me it's just like a slap in the face. Okay, well, we're the ones, and it's not just getting killed, even as far as sentencing. I mean, if, a white guy does the same crime and a Black man does the same crime, no, the one I just posted, they're not getting the same amount of time. This guy got 26 years in prison, and a guy got 2 years in a county jail. So it's not just about, it's all lives matter when we start to matter, point blank. Period. That's my thing. That's what I feel about it. I feel like when people say all lives matter, it's like you're not including me. I'm not included. That's how I feel. So.
I had seen this post on the internet and I tried to pull it up real quick, but I couldn't find it. But they go, you remember when the Boston Marathon was bombed and everybody said Boston strong? There was no, well, all cities should be strong. When we have breast cancer awareness month, it's not, well, we should be aware of all cancer. Like you see where I'm getting at with that. It's kind of like it's okay to say, hey, Black Lives Matter because they do. It's not saying that all lives don't matter. It's like, hey, these are the lives that are in danger right now. You know that, hey, let's look after the endangered penguins. Well, we should look after all the penguins. Yeah, we should, but these are the ones that are in trouble right now. I was watching a Michael Che's stand up last night, and he goes, you know, what would it look like if he goes into the house with his spouse and his wife goes, hey, do you love me? And he goes, baby, I love everybody. Like it just doesn't. It's missing the point, and I think that's what the All Lives Matter is. You're missing the point. You think that when people say Black Lives Matter, they're trying to be exclusionary, but they're really trying to say, no, we want to be included into that all lives y'all talk about.
I agree with everyone. Everyone's really said everything that I wanted to say. So just remember that we are concentrating on Black lives, but until our lives matter, everyone's lives matter. So that's the blue, red, yellow, purple, pink, whatever. There you go.
Awesome. Great discussion on that. Okay, so next up is white privilege. This has been a topic that a lot of people have either been confused about, don't believe in it. So is there any way you guys can give us clarification on, white privilege?
Okay, I'll go again. White privilege. All right, so to me, white privilege, no one is saying I think I heard someone say that they thought it was saying all white people are rich or something stupid like that. That could be the furthest, most incorrect thing I've ever heard in my life. It has nothing to do with that. My thing is white privilege. Not saying that you guys have not had any hardships, but you have not, and I feel you have not had hardships because of the color of your skin. And that's the difference. Where I have some issues and where I, a certain way, and I may be judged because of the way I look, you guys don't necessarily go through that. Most of your hardships are because if you didn't get the job, you didn't get the job because they didn't like something you said or they didn't, whatever. For me, there's a strong possibility that I didn't get something because of the way I look. And that is another problem, But white privilege is definitely not saying that people are rich. I just want to throw that out there because I feel like I've heard that way too many times. No, this is about you not having the hardships necessarily because of you have hardships. Let's just put that out there. But you're not facing hardships because of your skin. And I feel like that's the easiest way I can put that for most people, in my opinion. I don't know, Jay, what do you think?
I'd have to agree. That's what white privilege is to me. That me and you can come in and have these equal qualities, these equal attributes, and that you will be favored because you're white, simply because you're white. And I'm not saying that you should be ashamed that you have white privilege. Like I said, the previous recording, you didn't choose that. You can't be ashamed of what you didn't choose, but I think that you should be aware. And I mean, I'm not saying, hey, well, I feel this guy's more qualified, I'm gonna give up a job or anything like that. I'm just saying that what I feel that the Black community wants the white community to realize when we talk about white privilege is that just acknowledge that it exists and use that as an advantage when it comes to supporting us.
Right. Yeah. Wholeheartedly.
Monica and Wendy, do you guys have anything you want to say about that topic?
I mean, that's the bottom line. Yeah, it's definitely still around in 2020. Sad to say, but it's definitely still around in 2020. Absolutely.
Yeah. I feel like you were saying about, just someone white versus someone black. It's the stereotypes to me when it comes to white privilege. It's like, if I go in and try to get a job, it's like with black people, it's like you already assume you know about how all black people act the same. You know what I'm saying? It's like, well, she's probably not going to be as, reserved, and, you know what I'm saying? It's, she's black, so she's probably going to be a little more loud, a little bit more ghetto versus this white person. I know, so Sarah's going to come in here and she's going to be just the picture perfect person that I need to sit, right here. And as far as you know, Sarah could be a psycho. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, just because she's white, it doesn't mean that she's more qualified than I am. You don't know Sarah's heart. You don't know my heart. But you have to me, it's like, take the time to get to know someone versus like, oh, she's white, so I'm going to pick her, for the job. Just because you white don't mean you right. You know what I'm saying? Just because I'm black, it doesn't mean that, I'm better or I'm going to do the job better than Sarah. We just want a fair shot. That's all we want.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's why on the, applications, I really hate to answer what my race is. Not that I'm not proud to be black, but why do you care? You need to worry about, can I do the job? Not worry about my skin. My skin is not going to get this work done. These hands is, this voice is, that's what's going to get it done. You know what I'm saying? My heart, stuff like that, my work ethic, not the color of my skin. So that's what I feel like. I feel like I do feel like white people will get a job, white women will get a job open. But at the end of the day, you just got to pray to God and let him work it out. But yeah, it's there. But we still love y'all. We're not saying that, we're not beating you up because of the white privilege. I just want y'all to know that. We just like said, we want you. They said we want you guys to be aware that you do have it. And just be aware. That's all we're asking. We're not saying we're not mad at you about it. That's just the way it is. Just like we can't be mad at y'all about the white privilege. Don't be mad at us because of the color of our skin. We can't change that. But we can start, being aware, making each other more aware of what's going on. That's all I'm asking. Be aware.
So Miracle has prepared something to kind of like check your privilege. If you want to participate and turn on your camera, you are more than welcome to. But I don't know if you've seen like on TikTok the put your finger down if you've experienced it, you put a finger down. If you have not experienced it, you leave your fingers up. So Miracle, I'll let you take it from here on that. But
so, I feel like all of us have probably played Never Have I Ever, but it's like that version with Check Your Privilege. So if everybody put up your 10 fingers with me, I know I can see some of you I cannot. So if your video's off, please do it with us. So if it applies to you, you're going to put a finger down. Is everybody ready? All right. First one. Put a finger down if you have been discriminated against because of the color of your skin. All right. Number 2, put a finger down if you've been the only person of your race in a room or a meeting, etc. Like you've been in a meeting somewhere, anything, Let's see. Put a finger down if you've ever been called a racial slur. Not a lot of fingers went down, but I see some people that did. All right. Put a finger down if you've ever been told that you talk white. All right. Put a finger down if a stranger has asked to touch your hair or asked if it's real. Okay. Put a finger down if you've been followed in a store for no reason. Okay. Put a finger down if someone has clenched their purse beside you or locked their doors when you walk by. They see you coming, you hear that horn go off, right? Put a finger down if you have been accused of not being able to afford something expensive. All right. All right. Put a finger down if you have had fear of death in your heart when you were stopped by a police officer. Okay. Put a finger down if you've ever had to teach your child how not to be killed by the police. All right. Put a finger down if you did not see lots of cartoon characters, princesses, princes, or anything like that growing up. Let me put my wrist down now, I guess. Put a finger down if you've ever been told you're attractive for your race. Another wrist down, I guess. And last one, put a finger down if you've ever been reluctant to check your race during, affirmative action because you fear it may cost you getting the job. I guess I'll put my head down. I don't know. So, if you have the majority of your fingers still up, guys, you're privileged. And like Monica said, Wendy said, we're not mad at you guys about that, about white privilege at all. We just want there to be a certain awareness so that you can use that privilege that you do have and help out us. We can't do it alone. I think we discussed this last meeting. We talked about it. We can't do it alone. But if we got white people for it, and along with Black people and Latinos and everybody else, then some changes will come about. So yeah, you got your privilege, use it. I mean, there's some stuff we're privileged to, dancing. Not so much cooking for all of us, but use what's good. Me, Monica.
Yeah, she's talking about herself, Monica.
I'm trying. I'm learning. But I'm saying, if you have certain privileges, why not use them to your advantage to help others? Is what I'm saying. So cooking wasn't a very good. Be quiet, Monica. I see you down there.
Thank you so much for coming up with those questions and putting them together. When you originally sent them, and I did not put a finger down as I was reading them,
yeah.
I mean, I think that just proves right there. And as I was watching the screen, I mean, you guys don't have the same experiences either, and I saw some white people that put down more obviously than I did, and some than others. We're not all the same, but it's still there. And there's a lot of different experiences, and it's just great to acknowledge those. Like y'all were saying,
right.
It's real, it's happening. Just acknowledge
it. Hey, Lindsay, before we move on, I was told that there's 3 things that Black people can walk into a bank and get: a student loan, a car loan, and a mortgage loan. Why is that? Because we have to pay back those things. But if a Black person goes into a bank and asks for a business loan, do you know how hard that is? And why? Because there are some white people out there that don't want to see Black people rise above what we are, because we don't have to pay that back in so many ways. You know what I mean? So when I heard that, I was like, that makes a lot of sense. So, yeah, that's white privilege.
Okay, the next question, and that kind of leads us into the next question actually. Experiences or thoughts on people assuming you cannot afford something, or a stereotype like that. Jay, I know you wanted to talk about this one, so you want to take it first?
Sure, I'll take it first. I've worked really hard over my 32 years on this earth. And I have been in situations where I've walked into places and no, I could not afford anything, and I was treated as if I can't. And I think I mentioned this at the last panel. I dress really casually when I'm not going to work. I'm basketball shorts and a t-shirt. I'm some Jordans of some sort. I'm very casual. And as a result of my hard work, I've put myself in a position to where I can walk into damn near any place and buy anything that I want. But I'm still looked at the same way. And I don't really feel the kind of way about it like I used to, because now it's just like, if I'm not accepted here, then my money isn't accepted here either. And I will just take that elsewhere, whether it's a Black-owned business or whether it's a business that doesn't profile their customers based on what you think they have in their pocket. And so for me, it's like, yeah, it hurted when I couldn't afford anything in there and I was treated differently. And then it hurts when I can't afford everything in there and I'm still treated differently, because I've been brought up to treat everybody the same. I don't care if you came in here looking like a hobo you know, if you're in here, I'm going to assume you can buy something. You know, whether you do or not, that's on you. You can come in here and say, yeah, I'm going to buy this and I'm going to buy that and leave and not buy anything. I've seen people with tons of money do it. And I've seen people come in and buy cars off the lot of a dealership and say, you know, not even test driving. Oh yeah, I came to get this one. No, I don't want to look at it. I don't even want to talk to your finance guy because I'm going to write a check. Like, you can't just judge that book by its cover, especially when you're working in a retail industry, because you might miss out on something good. You might miss out on a sale. You just have to treat everybody with respect. And to me, when you think from the way that I'm dressed or my skin color that I can't afford anything, you're blatantly disrespecting me. And I don't appreciate that. And you won't be getting my business. Shout out to Starbucks.
What? Oh. You play all day, Jay. All day. All day. Okay, so, my thing with this is, it's not even just about assuming when you go into a store if you can afford something or not. It's assuming a lot of stuff. It's assuming, you know, if you see me with 2 children, you know what I'm saying, oh, I'm just a poor single mom. Or, you know what I'm saying, even if it's just one. There are white people who, you know, are single moms. So what's the problem here? You know what I'm saying? It's like, I feel like when I go into the store with my children, they're well behaved. I don't play that. So I don't need you to follow me around. I don't need you to assume just because I'm browsing that I can't afford something. Sally didn't buy anything either. Are you paying attention to her? So my thing is, we just want to be treated the same. You know what I'm saying? I don't care about you asking me if I need help. That's fine. But I don't need you hovering over me. Because to me, that's going to make me like, okay, like he said, if you don't think I'm good enough to be in your store or think I can afford something, then my money's not good enough to be in this store. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, bye, then I'm going to go to a Black-owned business and, you know, put my money there. And I think that's kind of where we are right now with everything that's going on. It's like, that's where we're trying to put our dollars at right now. I feel like, you know, until we get the respect that we deserve, then I feel like that's where, you know, we're starting to put our money at. So don't just assume that just because, you know, me, Miracle, Jay, Monica, we're in this store that, you know, we can't afford anything. I don't care if we're going to put our money all together. Don't you want to pay the light bill in this store? Don't you want to be able to buy more merchandise in this store? So respect anybody who walks through that door. I've seen a lot of rich, you know, people that don't dress that way. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to have the designer stuff. I mean, is that what it takes? Does it take me to go in there dressed down in, you know, Kate Spade? I'm not trying to be funny, y'all, but I'm saying Kate Spade because that's y'all girl, though. Her stuff is cute. But I'm just saying, I mean, do I have to dress like that? Or do I have to be, you know, Beyonce or somebody for you to take me seriously when I go into a store? I don't care if I can only buy a little trinket. My money is going to put food on your table. Respect that.
Yeah, I totally agree with Jay and Wendy. And I kind of see it also like as a school teacher, as an educator. I've had parents that have like not known who I am on my campus, you know, and they've walked in and kind of been like shocked. And I mean, here I am like, hey, you know, we're about to have a great year, da 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 da. And they're like, but then those same looks, you know, that they had at the end of the year, your kids love me. You know why your kids love me? Because I'm a good teacher and I do what I'm supposed to do. They didn't see me for a Black teacher. And if they did, they probably was like, cool, because I'm probably the first one they've seen, you know, especially elementary. So yeah, it's weird in that aspect too. Stereotyping me like, okay, first of all, guys, you think I'm just in here like playing? Like, no, I actually, you know, went to college. I have my degree. You know, I was chosen for this job. I can do this job. And it is funny to see at the end, like literally how much they love me at the end or even in the middle, you know, but it is weird to see those looks too, even as a elementary school teacher. So I see it everywhere, the stores, at work, you know, and it is what it is, but it has to get better at some point, you know, like just take a chance to actually, I feel like let someone show you who they are first before you judge them. And like there was a post the other day on Facebook about kids, and we all know those kids that get those reputations before they come to your class. You've asked this teacher, asked that teacher. This is my thing. I don't have a problem with you in my classroom until you do something to me. So you could have raised all kind of hell in second grade. But when you step foot in third grade in my classroom, you got a clean slate, baby, until you mess it up, and then I got to fix it. But at that point, I have no problems. And so there needs to be no solution. I may know about your past. It may be logged somewhere in the back of my head, but I'm not gonna beat you up for that. We're not gonna start out like that. You got a clean slate. Now when you mess up the clean slate, that's a problem. So yeah, like just take a chance, let somebody do something. Like all of these things that I feel like white people hear, like, oh, black people do this, has it been done to you? No. Wait, oh, your great grandfather said it back in 19 whatever when it was still crazy, but stuff's not happening to you. So why are you staring? What's the problem? I don't know, but yeah, I see stereotypes everywhere in daily life. It does not matter. So until people decide they're gonna just grow some, kahunas or something, like nothing's gonna change. Just take a chance. Like, and if somebody proves to you, then you have every right to feel the way you want to feel. But if I've done nothing to you, then there should be no problem.
Well, Graham, that's how they feel about us when we talk about slavery. They feel like that we were not slaves, so we should basically get over it. So I know that's not a question.
Yeah.
But the thing about it is, why we can't get over that is because it's still going on.
Modern day slavery.
Yes. I mean, in a sense, just like when Jay explained how, walking out on the field and just his, when he had to be looked at for weight and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, how can you get over something that is still going on? So, I mean, yes, nobody is, has me in a field picking cotton and stuff like that. But in a sense, you still have us in that box. You still want us to be over here, and you want to be over here. Yeah. That's the problem we have. We're trying to get here. That's what we need to do. We need to be here.
Yeah.
And, I mean, you can't get rid of us. I mean, we're gonna keep having black babies. Yeah. We're gonna keep hanging with Lindsay Cars. I mean, that's what it is. So I'm sorry to get off track, but it just made me think about that. I had a problem with, people wanting us to get over, something that happened to our ancestors when we're still fighting that same fight that they were fighting. Why are we still fighting that same fight? 2020.
Same posters, like same writing.
Like, this shit has to stop. I don't want my kids to be doing the same thing when they're 39 years old. So get uncomfortable and let's make a change. That's all we're asking.
One of the hardest things about being a black single mother is you're being stereotyped. You're automatically on government assistance. By the way, I don't receive food stamps, and y'all know how my kids eat.
Girl.
I mean, that is what pisses me off to the highest, is that you don't know what I'm doing. You don't know how much you don't know. Case in point, I went and got my nails done. Y'all know I love my nails, right? That's my thing, okay? That's my thing. That's my reward for not killing my children every day. Anywho, so one day I went to go get my nails done after work, and there was a white lady who was to the next station beside me. And y'all know I like them long, right, Shelly V? You always tease me about my long nails. And so she looked at me and she goes, "Oh, those are so pretty." And I said, "Thank you. You must not have a job." And I looked at her very kindly. And I said, "Oh, yes, ma'am, I have a job. Matter of fact, I work for Mesquite Independent School District. Oh, and I work with pre-K deaf children." And her mouth must have dropped to the floor. Because first of all, you stereotype me just because of my fingernails and because I am black. And baby, when I tell you I carry that on to this very day, y'all, that's what we go through. And y'all and white people think it's cute. It's not cute. It's not cute at all. Just because I want to look good, I can afford it. I'm in my budget. So accept that. And it just, that really ticked me off. So stereotyping, it's got to go because it's still here. And it's got to go. Hey, Major Graham.
Quick say hello. Okay, bye. His life matters, guys. That one right there that just told y'all hello.
I remember growing up and being told that, oh, you're not like the other black people. And I was like, what do you mean the other black people? I mean, well, you carry yourself well and you show up on time, you're responsible. Like, that's not a compliment. That's not a compliment at all.
Okay, so people are so ignorant. In the white community, there are single moms. In the white community, there are people who are, I don't want this to sound the wrong way, but just like they say we are ghetto, you have white people that are ghetto. You have, it's in every community, so it's in every race. It's not just with, whites, blacks, it's with Mexicans, Asians. You have broke Asians who steal. You have white people that are broke and steal. You have black people that are broke and steal. It's the person. It's equal all across the board. So that's why I don't understand why. So there was a guy who walked in the neighborhood yesterday, sitting in the car talking, white guy. Like, none of us like, oh, let's call the cops. Nobody did that. So that's what I'm saying. Why is it not the same when we go to white neighborhoods? If you see someone doing something suspicious, then I see that's a problem. He was just walking. He was minding his own business. I don't care that he's the only white man in this neighborhood right now. I don't care. As long as he's not hurting my children or walking up on my porch trying to take something, I'm not going to bother him. So if I'm going to Lindsay Carr house, don't bother me. Don't call the cops. Don't assume. And I don't care if I don't have a 2020 Lexus or whatever kind of car you expect me to drive in this neighborhood. Don't bother me. If you don't see me doing anything wrong, don't bother me. Because I should not want to, move. I should not want to check and see if there's black people in a neighborhood before I move to it. I should want to move to a neighborhood because this is a house that I like. That's a problem. We need to change that.
Wendy,
And I also think go ahead, Car.
I was just going to say, Wendy, I really like how you said, like, it's the person. It's who they are, like, on the inside. Like, there are bad people everywhere within every race. And our skin color does not, like, I was born pure. Obviously, we all are. But that doesn't continue because I develop and I have, like, my own morals. And you know what I mean? And so then that's what makes a person good or bad. And so I really like how you said that. Sorry to interrupt you, Miracle. Go ahead.
No, I was just agreeing with Wendy, and like black people have to stop doing that against each other along with white people doing it to us, because just last night, Max and I went out to the harbor. It was our 5-year anniversary, and we were eating out there and out by the lake. And these 2 African-American girls come through, black, whatever they want to be called at this point. And I hear her saying there are different types of black people. So, my ears were like, what you about to say back here to this other girl? And she was like, you got it. Her people it was crazy how she grouped them. She's like, you have your strippers, you have your pregnant girls. And I'm like, what? And then she's like, you have your bougie black. And I just happened to be turned around, like, trying to see what she's saying. She was like pointing at me and Max. Now, mind you, I'm sitting on a blanket at the lake with some shoes I got from Target and a little top and some pants, and we eating on the border. And I'm bougie. That's why I was like, we gotta stop tearing each other down. Like, girl, you don't even know me, right? Like, at all. And I'm like, just as easy as it was for her, and she looks like me, white people do the same thing to me. And it's just like, it's just, it needs to stop. Like, people, I think if everybody just minds your own business, like, you know, mind the business that literally pays you, everything would be so much better. But I feel like people are so quick to just want to be in everyone's business and stereotype and criticize that nobody can just worry about what they have going on personally. So yeah, it's overwhelming sometimes. But like, just like, oh, these people are ghetto, these people are this and that, like, no, I mean, like, people do carry themselves a certain way, and that is their choice, you know.
In all races.
Yes, every race. I know ghetto white girls. Trust me, I'm from Texarkana, so I know some ghetto white girls, and they will get on here and tell you they are ghetto and be proud. That's their prerogative. I don't care, and I know, you know. It's in every race, you know, but it just seems like it just becomes bigger when it's black people. I don't know. It's just blown out of proportion to me sometimes.
Yeah, the name calling's got to stop. I mean, call them white trash, call us ghetto. I mean, it just all got to stop.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, it's exhausting. It really is, because it's like, you do know, that's what's frustrating. It's like, we're not the only ones, you know, we're not the only ones who can't go in and get a car. So I know some white people who credit is a lot worse than, you know, some of my black friends. So it's like, that's what's so exhausting. And it was to the point where I had to like get off Facebook for a second, because it's like, this fight, it wears me down. It wears me down. Like, every time I'm scrolling on my page and I'm constantly seeing, you know, the black people getting killed, and we're out here fighting, and it's still going on. This is why we need you guys. I mean, it's gonna be better if we have help from our white friends. I mean, I know some of you don't want to put anything on your Facebook page. You don't want your Facebook page to be political, and I get that. Okay, but, you know, march with us then. And you know, maybe I was wrong with saying people coming on my post, because I think somebody tried to throw a little shade, but I was too exhausted to go and respond back to it.
I'm for it. Don't post on my wall and have all this to say, and I go to your page and there's nothing. No, you don't. My page.
You know, I feel you, Miracle, but you know, and like they said, some people want to keep their page light and funny. I'm all about that, but ain't nothing light and funny right now. Y'all, I'm tired. Like, literally, I am tired. Not on the top of the other things that we got going on in our lives with our family and all this kind of stuff. We have to constantly, you know, live in fear and live in worry. And I get tired of turning on the news, turning on my social media news feed, and innocent black lives are being taken. And even if they're not innocent, you are supposed to arrest them and let them have their day in court. You aren't supposed to kill them. That's the problem. So until we all get on board, nothing's gonna change. Nothing's gonna change. And I'm just, you know, we're talking till we're blue in the face. But are you guys listening? Are your friends and family members listening? Are you willing to help so we can make this world a better place for our babies, your babies? So you guys watching this, we need help, okay? Because this shit is exhausting. Like, I'm like tired.
So we're gonna do one more, okay? So that means there will most definitely be a part 3. So I hope you guys can keep coming back. They are just, like I said last time, I mean, it's just all so important. Nothing needs to be cut short. Nothing needs to be overlooked or skipped. So as long as y'all want to keep talking with me, we'll keep going. So the next one is your experiences or thoughts on specific things that you do naturally to keep yourself safe. I've seen like several videos of children actually like saying, you know, my parents taught me, and then they just list all the things that they had to learn just to keep themselves safe. And to me, that was like one of the biggest, you know, eye openers, is hearing these children like tell these stories, because obviously that was something that I never had to experience. So, so what are your thoughts on that?
Isn't it sad that we have to do that?
Yeah.
Isn't it so sad that I have to I say this to my son every year. He wanted to go to a pool party for his 10 years. My son graduated this year. So, and I have to ask 50 questions, and I know he's annoyed. I have to ask him, you know, where is it? Even though I can follow him on Life 360, whose party is it? And even to the point where I know he's not going to be the only black kid there, but I still want to know that too. I have to, you know, tell him, you know, hey, you need to make sure you're going the speed limit. You need to make sure that, you know, if you get pulled over, you need to immediately call me. Someone needs to be on the phone so I can hear everything that's going on. And you just need to do everything that they tell you to do. My daughter, the same thing. Because she's no different. You're still black. But it's just sad that we have to give this list. Even me, I have to make sure I'm driving the speed limit. Kind of hard. I have a heavy foot. But I have to make sure that, you know, I'm driving the speed limit. I'm, you know, not too loud, or, you know what I'm saying, when I go into the store. And when we go into the store, we like to, you know, joke and have fun and have a good time, but, you know, not bring too much attention to yourself. You know, give them any reason to follow you. It's just, the list is long. But sometimes, Lindsay, the best way to me to be safe is just staying home. But even we know that that's not always safe, because, you know, of what's been happening. That wasn't the first time that they went in and shot somebody. So I don't really know what the best way to be safe is. To just pray. I mean, that's all I know to do. Pray and just do the best I can.
Literally try to get in and out without being seen. Like, I don't need any interaction. Just because you just never know what's gonna happen. I always try to check my tone. If I'm pulled over, I gotta fake it till I make it so I can get home, because the last thing I need is a cop thinking I'm being aggressive when I'm asking. Because one thing I always want to do is be like, okay, what did I do wrong? Or just question, like, why am I being pulled over? But that's strike number one for me. Like, I've already asked too many questions, even though that's pretty much my right. Fortunately, you know, my kids are still young right now. And so we do have like these, you know, these little talks, but most of the time where they are, I am at. Unlike Wendy's kids are older, so they can't go off by themselves, but we will have those conversations of, you call me, or we need to start videoing. Don't talk back, do whatever they say, even if it's like crazy. Like, I want you to be alive, you know. And it is stressful, and there's a plethora of things that we have to think about before we even make the decision to walk out the door. But like Wendy said, staying home. But then Car, we just talked earlier about how, you know, that girl was at home and she was shot before she could even comprehend like what was going on, you know. And so girl, I don't know how to stay safe. I just have to live my life and just, I don't know, because there's no right answer right now. Stay at home, you can be killed. You walk out the door, you can be killed. So honestly, girl, I just keep living life the best I can, and just try to protect my kids and my husband at all costs. So I really don't have an answer. That's sad. I really don't have an answer for you, how I can stay safe in a place where I was born. I've been educated. I have no idea. I have nothing. So, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I know one thing, it's not going to stop me from from going out. I mean, and I got my boy here so he can tell you himself, what has mama taught you? When I'm not with you, what are you supposed to do?
Be polite.
Be polite.
Stay out of trouble.
Stay out of trouble.
Keep your receipt.
When you buy things, when you go to the store, keep the receipt.
Yeah.
What else? Well, he ain't driving yet, y'all. So I don't. What?
Be polite with the policeman. Stay out of trouble.
Right. Because trouble can't come to you if you stay out.
Right. Stay away from the tick.
Say them, yeah, there you go. So I mean, you know, that's just how we have to parent these days, y'all. I mean, that's just point blank. You heard from Trenton himself. We don't make this stuff. You can't make this stuff up. You can't. This is our reality, for real.
Yeah.
Jay, do you want to say anything to that question?
I was just thinking, like when everything happened with George Floyd, my cousin, she called me and she was just crying. She was in tears and she says, you know, how do I know that you and my brother are going to make it home safe, you know, after y'all leave the house? And, you know, it seems like it was something new for her that concept was new. And to me, it's like, that's every single day. That's life, honestly. And I know that that's a harsh reality of the world, but that's life. You don't know that I could do everything right, and I could, you know, come across somebody that's having a bad day and has a bad attitude, and I could ask one too many questions, and the whole thing could change.
Oh, well, once again, you guys have done an amazing job answering all of these questions. Thank you so much for your honesty. We have 5 more unless people send me some more. So we'll address those next time. And any closing words or thoughts?
No, I think this is awesome. And I think like Jay and Wendy and Monica and myself, like if people are willing to like listen and honestly want to make changes like in their thought process, or just literally taking a chance to think differently than what you've been thinking for the last, I don't know, 30, 40, you know, odd years, I never mind getting on here and like telling my side of how I see America versus, you know, how you see it. And so like I'm always up for that and helping educate in that aspect, if people are taking it serious. Because, you know, we have some people that are just clout chasers or whatever you want to call them, and they just want to be in the know like that. But I know I want some people that's literally going to listen, take what we say, and like take it and apply it to their lives and teach their families about it. Because that's how you break generational stuff like that. Like not just you listen and you go and tell your next person, and they go and they tell the next, and then it starts to happen. But if you're just here just because you want to be on a Google Meet with some Black people, you wasting my time and your time. So, you know, that's just my thoughts. But another great session, Car.
Just know that we appreciate you, Car. You know, we really do. This is very important, and I feel like it is making a big difference. And just know to everyone listening, we appreciate you listening. We appreciate you going back and, you know, educating your family, your friends. And that, like she said, that's the only way it's going to change. We just need to keep doing this, keep, you know, spreading love, and that's what it's going to take. So I always have time, girl. I like to say I got time today. I love it. I mean, it's not easy. I don't really go over the questions as much. I, you know, glance over them because I want it to be something that just strictly comes just from my heart. You know, I want them to see me, you know, hear me. So I love you guys, and I just pray that, you know, we are headed toward a better world, a better, you know, place to live. Like I want to wake up and just, I mean, I want to worry about what I'm going to eat for the day. You know what I'm saying? Is it going to hit my thighs or is it going to hit my butt? I want to worry about stuff like that. I don't want to worry about, you know, and being a mom that's always on top of her children, because I know they get so tired of me. It's so important. And with this generation, some of them think they're invincible. But so it's like we have to keep instilling it. And I want them to go and be happy. I don't want them to just drive and worry the whole time. Or if they go to their friend's house, worry the whole time. So that's what we need to go. I want you to know, don't nobody else Black tell y'all. The Black ones on here want to let you guys know that we love and appreciate you. You know, for you. And this was great. You're amazing.
Thank you for listening. You know, sometimes you want to argue. Sometimes you respond to what is it? You listen to respond.
Mm-hmm.
but you're listening to learn, and we appreciate that because our voices are not being heard because someone always got something to say behind it. But y'all are actually listening, and I want to say thank you. Thank you, Lindsay Ray, again for this. It's a start. We got to start somewhere, you know. Even if it's just this little platform, we making it work, you know, and just spread the word. I know some of my friends that are on here have reached out to me, and let me tell y'all, that means everything to me. That means everything to me because I know y'all love me already, but it's like now you're understanding because some of these conversations we never had, you know, and now that they're being had, you're like, oh, I didn't know that part. Yeah, because we don't really put it out there, but it's happening. It's happening, you know, so I just want to give a shout out to my girls. Y'all know who y'all are. I love y'all. And can't wait till next week. Get all over here.
Just trying to make
It's Father's Day
for everybody.
Oh, yeah. It's Father's Day next week, Liz Ray.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, well, we'll change it. Yes, it is Father's Day. You're right. Thank you. Real fast, the stats on the other video, already told you guys, but we've had over 200 views. And we also... 48% of those views actually came from YouTube suggesting the video and not necessarily the link that we put on Facebook. So I thought that was really cool. I told you guys when I very first sent you the message, my goal was to reach 200 people. And so just in the first group discussion, we reached over 200. And so anyway, I thought that was cool. Wanted to share
And we didn't have any thumbs down. I was like,
no
what?
thumbs down.
Okay.
Only one thumbs up, but we got a thumbs up.
Hey, I'll take
I'll take it. All right, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Love you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.